The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the reviver of the Sri Kailasa nation, the only enlightenment ecosystem civilizational nation for Hindus around the world. And through that, not only he is protecting the sacred sciences of Hinduism, but also making them available to each and every one of us for us to benefit in all the various dimensions of our life from these Hindu sciences, from all the various cosmic sciences that Paramashiva makes available to each and every one of us through Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So without further ado, we'll be jumping into the first year of today's segment, the year 2006. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded on the cosmic principles of the Shiva Sutras during a series of satsang on which, at that time, were taking place in the United States. Shruti is what is heard, not read or memorized. It is through Shruti that the oral tradition of learning directly from the authentic source / person that we can receive the ultimate experience and the maximum benefits. The Shiva Sutras are the techniques that were given by Shiva himself to Devi for her enlightenment. So here, yesterday we already saw that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started this series of satsangs on Shiva Sutras in the US. So here we have the second day of those revelations on the Shiva Sutras. We can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism welcoming each and every one, and hundreds and thousands of disciples, delegates, followers joining these sessions by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to receive the sacred knowledge revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the Shiva Sutras, which is one of the main scriptures available in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, main scriptures revealed by Paramashiva, a series of 112 techniques on which Paramashiva expands and reveals to the world for people to experience their consciousness, for people to experience oneness with Paramashiva.
We are now moving on to the 22nd of February 2007. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated his brahmacharis into the Purnabhisheka Vrata. Purnabhishekam is the complete ritual of Abhishekam from start to end. Vrata is a Sanskrit word that means vow, resolve, devotion, and refers to the pious observances such as fasting and pilgrimage. A typical vrata involves a fast for a fixed period of time, usually a full day, where either there is no food is eaten, or only one meal is eaten in the entire day, or only a certain food such as milk is consumed during the period of the vrata. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiating the brahmacharis and the monastic order of the sovereign order of Sri Kailasa into the various rituals to help evolve their path of sannyas and to make sure that they are completely aligned within the vows of sannyas. And we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism here also doing the Abhishekam, which is the sacred bath ritual, to the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivoham Level, which is the main deity of the Adi Kailasa Sarvanya As a Swayambhu, the linga is not carved by a human being or made, but it was emerged by itself in the ground, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism identified the linga below the banyan tree and has consecrated it in the Garbha Mandir, in the golden temple of the Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetha.
Yes, entering now into the year 2009. On this auspicious day of the Paramashivaratri, the delegates, diplomats, disciples, and devotees got an opportunity to experience Sanidhya, closeness with the Paramavatara, the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Other powerful breakthrough experiences that they were blessed with were the night Arati and the Brahmacharyam initiation, the Kundalini meditation, the Abhishekam and the Homa, the flag hoisting, the Tepotsavam, the Anadan, and the book releases, as well as the culturals. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the Paramashivaratri in the year 2009. Thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people gathered where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was and experienced this amazing night, which is dedicated to Paramashiva, where everyone does not sleep for that night, as this night is a very auspicious night where a tremendous amount of cosmic energy is made available. Therefore, keeping the spine erect throughout the night is the spiritual practice which is observed on this night. So like that, various activities happen from the entire day, literally for 24 hours, if not more, to keep the devotees active, engaged in the remembrance of Paramashiva, for them to experience a raise of consciousness and experience oneness with Paramashiva.
We are now entering into the 23rd of February 2011. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded on the subject of Eastern mysticism and Western philosophy. In the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's own words, philosophy is intellectual. The knowledge, the informations, verbalizations of the experiences, memories of the past, assumptions about the future, these are all philosophy. Mysticism is more like transforming your life. It is the alchemy which happens in your being. Alchemy is the process which makes metals pure. The transformation of the inner being, I call it as an ultimate alchemy. Alchemy which happens inside your being. A man becoming God, devil becoming divine. The words become realization. This process, I call it as alchemy. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is defining what is alchemy and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism converts our ordinary self into the divine, which is there inside of us, and the difference between the Western philosophy and Eastern mysticism. And if you want to hear more of the satsang, you can log on to Nithyanandapedia to see the transcript of the same satsang and see the video of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism delivering the satsang.
Entering now into the year 2012, on the presidential address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, he intercepted the Akashic records of the 4th chapter, 12th verse of the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga of the Bhagavad Gita. From this grand cosmic download and the re-happening of the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on how the deities can be approached to supplement our actions and to fulfill our desires immediately. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further shared that the deities can be approached to supplement our actions and to fulfill our desires immediately, and explained that the future is only for religions that accept all gods, multiple gods. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanding on the religions which relate to the ultimate in various forms and to relate to various gods and goddesses. So inviting each and everyone to listen to this great address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from the Bhagavad Gita, and the importance of having relating to various gods and goddesses for our desires to be fulfilled Nithyananda on the 23rd of February 2012, and access to this course, the address.
We are now moving on to the 22nd of February 2013. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed how authenticity independently can lead us to enlightenment. When our inner image of ourselves matches the image we present to others, we automatically want to take responsibility for everything around us and enrich the world. The integration of the inner self, Mamakara, and the self-image we display, Ahankara, strengthen us and make us genuine. Strength also flows from completing our unfinished business rather than inwardly preparing for possible failure. When we have vanquished our past situations, we no longer see failure as an option. So Purnatva, the process of clearing and resolving our past conflicts, is the key to ultimate self-integration and success. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving a beautiful process, the Sapurnatva, which is completion with yourself, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is talking about how we can align the Mamakara and Ahankara, the self-image that we carry, and the inner image and the outer image that we project. Many times in our lives, if we look in, we will see that the image that we are carrying inside ourselves about us and the image that we project about us is completely different. For example, you may be feeling very powerful inside, but you might project yourself as a powerless person just to make something happen. So similar to that, many times the image that we carry inside us and what we project are not aligned. And here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully shares that when we align these images, that happens when we complete with the past situations. It is because of a root pattern, a pattern that we carry in our lives, that we make the choice of separating the images that we have. And when we do the completion, the Swapurnatva, and complete with those incidents in our past, then the images get aligned and you will see that your life is successful and you feel complete within yourself. So if you want to hear more about the Swapurnatva Triya and the completion process, you can log on to the official YouTube channel of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has spoken extensively about the completion process and how we can complete with our 4 images. And with that, we will be moving on to the next year after a short break. I request all the participants and viewers to stay tuned for the upcoming years.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity. Whether it is simple headache or depression or the worst suicidal patterns or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside.
Yes, so welcoming each and everyone back. We'll now be entering into the next year of today's segment, the year 2014. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the context that needs to be set for any action. The context we set for any action is more important than the action, and that the context for any action should be exploring and expanding and not retirement. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further shared that if any action is not aligned to our life's mission, we should not be performing that action. He explained that aligning our purpose with our life takes away the tiredness and boredom in us, and that the eternal reality takes away the tiredness and boredom from us. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism prompted everyone to align all their goals, actions, vision, mission, and everything by questioning, is this what I want to do forever? I am going to do this eternally. Am I going to do this eternally? And explain that creating eternity to the present reality is living enlightenment. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanding on a very important truth, which is the truth of eternity, and how, by questioning ourselves about whether we are willing to do whatever action we are about to do for eternity or not, and coming to the decision and conclusion to only perform actions which we are willing to perform eternally. So if you wish to listen to this address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, you can go on Nithyandapedia, type in 23rd February 2014, and you'll have access to this address where you'll be able to receive the various powerful cognitions shared by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism about eternity.
We are now moving on to the 23rd of February 2015. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continued with the Upanishad series, The Living Advaita, and what it means to say no and yes to life. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that food, shelter, clothes, and medical care, these four basic necessities to live poverty-free, should and can be accessible to every human being on the planet. However, if for some reason we do not have access to these four, it's simply because decision makers are saying no to life. The only way the problem can be solved is more and more people who consciously say yes to life should become decision makers. It cannot happen by revolution. No revolution will do this because usually the people who lead the revolution are always again the people who say no to life. It can happen only by evolution. It is never going to happen by removing the people who are having power and replacing them with somebody else. Making everyone powerful, raising more and more people to say yes to life. The nation of Kailasa is one big yes to life. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is laying the foundation principles of Kailasa, where as in the Sanatana, as in the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the basic four necessities, food, shelter, clothes, and medical care, are to be given and to be accessible by every human being. And that is the way the nation of Sri Kailasa is. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is having this global dialogue with all the other world leaders to implement this in each of the countries in the world and sharing the ideas for the betterment of humanity. Let us now go through a beautiful video on the happenings of the 23rd of February 2018.
Is all just satsanga? Sit with the master. Simply the enlightenment happens. Shivoham experience flowers. Especially Varanasi, Murti, Tirtha, Sthala, all the three. Tirtha, the Ganga. In Kamikagama, Mahadeva says, Ganga is the ever pure water. Ganga, Tirtha, Sthala. What better Sthala you will get than Varanasi? Its very own address. What better place you will find? And Achala Murti, Viswanatha, Sachala Murti, Gurudeva. And the concept you are going to work is Shivoham. Understand? Pretyabi gachanti. After death, where you are going to go, prepare yourself for that. The best place to prepare yourself for the journey of after death is Varanasi. Actually, this Varanasi inner awakening is going to be the experience of Upanishads, literally. Varanasi is the place where you live even death. You live even death.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda consecrated the Nithyanandeshwara Hindu Temple, Ohio on April 14, 2007. This is the first Nithyanandeshwara temple outside of India. Lord Nithyanandeshwara and Devi Nithyanandeshwari adorn the main sanctum, seated in a unique posture of Shiva, bestowing the Shiva Sutras to Devi. This is the largest granite Shiva deity in North America, weighing in excess of 2 tons and hand-carved by Paramahamsa Nithyananda Swamiji after his enlightenment. The temple is located on the banks of the state Olentangy Scenic River. Another stream feeds into this river and the junction, and the area has been declared as Paschim Prayag by Swamiji. Social gatherings serve to share knowledge and sattvic food. Pujas, homas, and other rituals are conducted in the temple, and major festivals are observed. Free meditation classes and Nitya Yoga are offered.
expect to be here at this February IA, but I'm really glad I came. I had planned to go to December IA, but for different reasons I couldn't go, mainly work. I then lost my job just before Christmas, and I was a bit upset about it. I was thinking, what on earth am I going to do? So time went by. I managed to get some temporary work just to keep myself going, and actually it was enough money to come up with IA, or money for IA as well. And about a week or two before IA, I could just feel Swamiji's energy. I think I even had a few dreams telling me that I had to go to India. It was just something I had to do. So I booked a ticket, I booked my visa, I paid the money, I finished up with work. Everything went really smoothly, and I just took the risk and I came, and I'm really glad I came. I think it's one of the best experiences I've had in my life.
We are now moving on to the 23rd of February 2016. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained the auspiciousness of one of the most ancient Hindu rituals known as Maheshwara Puja, which is usually offered in the remembrance of a person who is no more, so that the departed soul rests in peace. The real peace a soul can experience is the peace of enlightenment. In Nithyananda Sampradaya, delegates, diplomats, and disciples offer Maheshwara Puja so that the departed soul can be liberated in the presence of the avatar. In the Maheshwara Puja, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is the embodiment of cosmic energy, personally receives the bhiksha or food offering, and he liberates the departed soul. No matter how many births the person would have taken after leaving the body, and no matter if the person has met the master or not throughout their life, the master can intervene and make his presence available in the departed soul's life and lead it to enlightenment. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the Maheshwara Puja as explained, one of the most ancient rituals of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, where the people who have departed are liberated by the master and their karmic baggage is removed instantaneously when the Maheshwara Puja is offered. Let us now see a beautiful oneness capsule of the happenings of the days of the 23rd of February 2016.
Yes, welcoming each and everyone back. Entering now into the year 2017 on the 5th of 5 years ago. On this day, the presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted yet another Vishesha Diksha ritual, initiating hundreds and more Kailasa delegates, diplomats, and disciples to live a more authentic Hindu life. On this day, before the Vishesha Diksha initiation, delegates celebrated the Padayatra arrival to Adi Kailasa for the upcoming Mahashivaratri celebrations and received blessings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So here we can see Padayatris, which are devotees, disciples, and delegates who decide to walk barefoot from Tiruvannamalai, which is the birthplace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, all the way to Bengaluru Adinam. Hundreds and hundreds of kilometers are separating both places, and for the sake of raising themselves, devotees decide to partake into this tapas, this spiritual practice, which is the Padayatra. So they've been walking for days and days and days barefoot from that original place to the Adi Kailasa, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided and conducted the Mahashivaratri. So on the day of the Mahashivaratri, the disciples arrived to Adi Kailasa, were welcomed with the traditional pujas and rituals, and got the blessings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. Let us watch a short video about the various happenings of that day.
This one truth, the strength it can awaken in your intention, you will simply see the physiological, psychological, neurological ups and downs are not you. Actually, to make you understand only, you have been asked to remain awake whole night, because one night if you remain awake, you will go through all physiological, psychological, neurological ups and downs. You will realize it is not you. That is the purpose. You have been asked to remain awake. It is a most powerful spiritual technique to experience the power of your intention. You are nothing other than your intention.
On the 22nd of February, the participants of the Shiva Diksha went through various meditations that Swamiji shared with the world to awaken each chakra, from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara, along with important understanding about how to maintain these chakras alive and radiating. In the evening, the Homa took place and the participants were directly initiated into Shiva Diksha and the Gayatri initiation by Swamiji himself. Swamiji then initiated all into the mantra and conducted a powerful process to allow the initiations to enter into the biomemory of each participants.
Nithyanandoham, 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 Shivoham, Shivoham, Shiva 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 Shivaya Namo Om Haraya Namo Om Shivaya Namo Om Haraya Namo Om Shivaya Namo Om Haraya Namo Om Shivaya Namo.
Padayatra has the context of spreading the awareness that, to keep the world in peace and prosperity, the basic need is spiritual wellness and the realization that enlightenment is one's life's purpose. For the auspicious happening of Mahasada-Shivaratri, Padayatris are heading towards Bengaluru Adinam and are recently stopping by Hosur.
We're now moving on to the 23rd of February 2018. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared on the topic, Life itself is the science of reinventing yourself, and shared how the ability to reinvent ourselves while in the body is enlightenment. On this day, Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam was celebrated with Arati and a procession. Also highlighted today was the making of the traditional wax mold for the Sadashiva Murti for the first temple of Paramashiva. From Kailasas from around the world, delegates that attended the Paramashivoham program shared how effortlessly they were able to express Shakti's powers after receiving the initiation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Entering now into the year 2019, 5 years ago, on this day, the presidential address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, he shared yet another daily darshan of the Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Adi Kailasa for all the delegates, disciples, diplomats of Kailasa to receive the blessings.
We are now moving on to the 23rd of February 2020. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that almost all of our experiences in life happen in the zone of chemicals, hormones, memories, and emotions. Furthermore, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed a powerful analogy. Just how gold is a universal currency in the external world, it is Tyaga that's the superpower in the internal world. He said, Tyaga is a single soul, most powerful catalyst agent to transform our Atma into Paramatma and our soul into the cosmic soul, Shava into Paramashiva, our individual existence to Paramashiva. Tyaga brings intense focus to our ultimate reality. Struggle is not wrong in our path to Kailasa enlightenment, but losing focus is something seriously wrong. If we lost focus, we lost everything. We may be struggling with our Paramashiva space. It may be because of our lust or hunger patterns, but we are struggling with will persistence. That is why struggling is not a crime. But if we come to the conclusion, I am not able to do anything, I struggled with this for 25 years, like anything, and we consciously decide not to persist, then that is the real problem. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained to the delegates that if they continue to persist without giving up, then these patterns will simply become irrelevant.
Entering now into the final year of today's segment, 2021, on this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded on the royal sacred secret of Kayakalpa, the best methodology to have a superconscious breakthrough. Furthermore, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained to the Kailasa nation that enlightenment doesn't even require hard work, it just requires sincere work. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave a beautiful instruction to the delegates that whenever it is possible, they should sleep under an open sky and gaze at the sky as much as they could and fall asleep, because this would help the brain's ability to grasp the larger visualizations, larger visions, ideas, and truths. That ability, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism characterized it as maturity of the mind and explained that the maturity of the mind is mandatory for the maturity of the consciousness. Meanwhile, on that day, the construction for expansion of the Jiva Samadhi, the place of final resting of mortal frames, of Brahma Yogini, Mata Vibhudananda Puri, one of the gurus of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, was underway in Tiruvannamalai. Later that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave the most auspicious and rare Bhava Samadhi darshan of Bhagwan Lord Venkateshwara. So here we can see a picture of the Bhava Samadhi darshan that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave on that day. So with this, we are coming to the end of today's segment. We are thanking you for having spent the time with us to go through these various activities and contributions performed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through the nation of Sri Kailasa. We invite you to join us for the further programs where we'll be going through the 24th of February of all the activities throughout the years. So again, thank you very much for having joining us. We'll now be moving on to the next segment of today's program. We'll be receiving an initiation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, preparing us for the Paramashivoham Level 3 program, which is going to happen in only a few days. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been preparing us for this great happening, which is about to take place on March 1st, on Paramashvaratri of this year, 2022. The experiences of the 25 states of consciousness, glimpses of the vertical time zones, and the science of paramanifestation in our life are going to be brought forward and expanded into ourself, our body, our being during this 21-day program in the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So without further ado, we'll be now moving on to the next part of today's segment. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next program.
Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa, Maha Kailasa. Listen. Ability to face yourself in the parallel universe. Possibility to experience yourself in the parallel universe. Capacity to experience yourself in the parallel universe. The power to face yourself in the parallel universe is the same power which you are using to keep yourself deluded or awakened. I am repeating,